Hello and welcome back with me, Admiral. Joining me back on Star Trek Fleet Command as always. So I've been asked by a viewer to give my opinion on the current arc, sort of the features that are within it, and to be honest, quite frankly, just to sort of, as a community, try and stick together with regards to the latest arc and the way that it's sort of run. I have previously watched Rev Juice's video on the latest arc, and I must agree with quite a lot of the things that he does say within that, and I will touch upon a lot of the things that he does mention as well, but try and relate it more to a sort of my point of view, I guess. Obviously, with it being predominantly free to play and a much smaller creator of the content and much smaller channel in itself. But yes, so this arc has been somewhat lacklusterful. I have said this from literally from day one. Is an incredibly lacklusterful arc so far. They have all they've done, it seems, is just basically rebrand the ship into a shiny turkey rather than being a brown turkey, as I discussed the other day in the live stream. They've basically gave you a ship that's the same ship as before. It just mines a slightly different thing. So there's the original, and then going over to the feature at the end, it's just basically a shiny turkey, which is quite frankly just very lazy in my opinion. The artwork is incredibly lazy. The only difference is this mining laser on the front, which I did talk about in the stream the other day. It's just an incredibly lazy way of going about adding a new ship into the game. The other thing that they've done, in which is kind of annoying as well, they've added this obviously extra platform into the game as well, but there's zero way for a free to play player like myself to ever be able to get this platform. There's no research, there's no events, there's no anything to be able to get this platform. So they need to do something about this, because there should always be a free to play grind of some form to be able to get everything in the game. And that also goes, for the time being, that also goes for this ship as well, which is what got introduced into the last arc, is the amalgam. You cannot get this ship whatsoever if you are free to play as well, which again I think is completely bullshit. But again, it's one of them. I'm not. There should always be a free to play option, even if it means you're having to grind out research or grind out an event or something like that. As long as you can get it as a free to play player, there should always be something available to you, even if it takes you obviously much longer to obtain compared to a paid player. And that's sort of me touching upon the free to play aspect of this current arc. I don't want to diss this entire arc, but there has been a few nice features, and again, I have said this previously, I believe. The few nice features are these at the end. Like, that's all the Valentine stuff, so just ignore that. But it's this stuff at the end where you can pick and choose which you want. And I've been advocating for this for literally years, to try and get the event store to have everything in, which they finally have done in the past. And like last month, for example, ended with an event store that was absolutely massive, and that's great to see. And then now they've got this, which is at the start of potentially a good future, being able to pick and choose what you want. I mean, the limit on it is 50. I disagree with the limit side of it, but overall, the concept of it is incredibly good. The downside is the materials that you get in it are quite pitiful, and I have spoke about this before in a previous video. You should be getting more than just 5.1 million. At least it's a guaranteed amount, but it should be definitely more. And same with the uncommons and the rares. You should be getting more than just 7 or 3. Again, guaranteed, which is amazing to see. Finally getting guaranteed resources is what I want to see for sure. But getting more of them, it should definitely be more. But hopefully they can change this in the future to obviously accommodate for, the growing need for resources in this game. Another thing with this month, with regards to the events, has been very, very lacklusterful on the events themselves. Um, I mean, they have events like the advanced technology, for example. They have this event in there, and it basically means you have to spend money on the game. You can't get this as a free-to-play player whatsoever. You have to spend money on the game, and then part of that, then you get obviously a bunch of resources by spending money on the game, um, which makes no sense in my opinion. It really doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is completely stupid, and they need to rethink these types of events, because at the moment this event, like I say, is only accessible for people that spend money on the game, which is completely wrong and should be for everyone that plays the game, because not everyone plays and pays for the game. Um, I've had a lot of comments of people basically not enjoying the arc as much at the moment. Um, it's certainly one of them where I do sympathize with everyone. Me myself, I predicted this was going to happen. So to be honest, I'm not overly disappointed with the arc, because I literally said this at the start of the month, or the end of last month, that this is what the arc's going to be like. So quite frankly, it's nothing new or surprising to me personally. But let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts and opinions are with regards to this arc. I know a lot of people are not happy with it. Like I said, I also watched Rev Juice's video, and again, something that he's sort of made people aware of as well, that there's a lot of people out there, a lot of community out there that are just not happy with this arc, the way that it's being done, the way that the resources have been released into the game, which is quite lacklusterful this month as well. The actual battle pass itself, again, is another lacklusterful battle pass. I'd probably arguably say the first month, I would say, just don't bother getting it whatsoever, unless you really want to, obviously. But again, it's the resources. They need to up the resources overall for every single level in the game, because there just isn't enough to go round. Quite frankly, they need to get rid of this bullshit stuff in the middle and just pack it with resources. No one cares about this bullshit stuff in the middle. No one that I know cares about it. So they need to just get rid of all of this and just pack it full of resources like they used to. Like when I say used to, I'm talking like over a year ago now. They used to just have every single level was some form of resource, and they need to just do that again, and then up the amount of resources that you can get per level as well, to allow people to progress to the higher levels. As I've already said before, this game has now moved on from being up to a level 50 cap to now a level 60 cap, and therefore to get to level 50 needs to be made more accessible to every single player in the game, whether you pay or whether you're free to play. Level 50 now or 40 to 50 now needs to be even more accessible than it used to be, because the grind is no longer, or should no longer be, level 40 to 50. It should now be level 50 to 60, and that's where the grind should have been moved to, and then an alleviation of pressure for certainly on level 30 to 40s, and then obviously a little bit of pressure relieved on level 40 to 50s. But at the moment, the grind in the level 30 range to level 40 and even up to level 50 is still absolutely astronomical for every single player in the game, regardless to what front you decide to go down. But yeah, that's just sort of my opinions. Hopefully, let me know what your opinions are on this arc, whether you like it, whether you dislike it. Tell me what you think should have been done about the way this arc has been released into the game. And certainly the Feringis. The Feringis are obviously known for being conniving, marketeering, sort of stealing your money. And quite frankly, it's starting to be a little bit like Scopely. They're starting to connive and starting to do things where they basically are blindly stealing your money in the game, which is something that I obviously don't want to see happen to people, that take a lot of dedication and time to put into this game. As I've always said, the time that in this game is unbelievable as it is. And then to top it off, they go, give me your money, otherwise you can't get certain things, you can't do certain events. and quite frankly, that needs to definitely change. They can still fix this by adding new events into the game, maybe changing some of the events themselves. I mean, this one makes perfect sense for obvious reasons, but maybe changing a couple of them just to make it a little bit more interesting in the game. But definitely getting rid of the pay to win or pay to progress aspect of it, and allow for more free to play sort of aspects, i.e. use research tree for it, use events for it, use any other means that you can to allow free to play players to get the ships, to get certain whatever it is. There should always be a free to play option in the game for absolutely everything. It just takes longer to get to it. But yeah, that's my thoughts and opinions. Leave yours down below. I will get back to the comments, and we will do another video. Hopefully, if there's enough comments down below, we'll do another video of like sort of going through the comments, maybe even doing a Q&A on them, or something on the lines of that. So please do leave your comment down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.